Alright, so up next, we actually have the champion. I'm going to skip over Battlemaster and Cavalier for right now. I will be coming back to those in a later video. This is one I've already analyzed in the past, so I'm just going to do this one real quick. I think we might have like a 5-minute video here. So, with the champion, the archetypal champion focuses on the development of raw physical power, honed to deadly perfection. Those who model themselves on this archetype combine rigorous training with physical excellence to deal devastating blows. This one is prime multi-class bait. This first feature you're going to get, improved critical, synergizes incredibly well with Rogue and their sneak attack, Barbarian and their brutal critical, Paladin and divine smite. This is a remarkable feature for just about every other class that isn't fighter. Well, I say that isn't fighter. The fact that you have to stick with champion in order for this one to really like pay off for you later as a fighter can be pretty unappealing, and as we get into this one, I think you might be able to see why. So with improved critical, what does this one do? Why is this one purple? Beginning whenever you choose this archetype at 3rd level, your weapon attacks score a critical hit on a roll of 19 or 20. So rather than a 5% chance to crit, you now have a 10% chance to crit. This is absolutely sick, super great, but if you notice, they don't get anything else here at 3rd level. This is why the champion right now feels a little bit underwhelming. And I know I just talked about like, yeah, they make these blank slate options in order for you to like apply your own, paint the canvas of the character that you want to with this. But the champion could still use a little bit of something else here. Just a minor ribbon, right? Something to kind of bolster up what it wants to be here at 3rd level. It just doesn't really have anything else helping out any sort of a roleplay dynamic. I do have an idea for like how that could possibly be improved, but I'll get into that later on. Moving on to Remarkable Athlete here at 7th level. Starting at 7th level, you can add half your proficiency bonus round up to any strength, dexterity, or constitution check you make that doesn't already use your proficiency bonus. So let's pause right here for a second. This is a check. This is not a saving throw. Be very clear on that, okay? If it was a saving throw, then like it wouldn't even do anything for your strength and dexterity, right? You already get those proficiencies as a fighter. Constitution, it would be pretty nice, but yeah. But you can add half your proficiency bonus. So right here, your proficiency bonus is going to be a +3. So it's rounded up. So you would actually have a +2 to any strength checks that don't add your proficiency bonus. So in order for you to get use out of this, you can't be proficient with athletics as a remarkable athlete. You see why this is a bit weird, right? I just think that this feature is amiss, really. Now, the place where this does actually check in, and I'm like, okay, we're starting to see some power out of it. This would be a +2 since initiative rolls are a dexterity check. This is a +2 to initiative rolls. As long as you don't have anything else that's adding that bonus in there. So this might hurt some builds if you're looking at like, is it Gloomstalker? No. Okay, so it would actually work with Gloomstalker because that's your wisdom modifier. Okay, so it's actually Harengon. You add your proficiency bonus to your initiative rolls. So it wouldn't work out well with that. Really, the strength in here, half your proficiency bonus round up. We're talking about a +2 to add to your initiative rolls. That's very nice. That will scale up with you, but you have to wait until, 13th level? Yeah, 13th level. So once you hit 13th level, that will scale up to a +3, which is nice to your initiative checks. It does feel weak in that that's like the one. It's weird because I'm like, that does feel good, right? And I think rather than have this as a blue, I am going to mark it as a purple because that actually is pretty decent overall. But adding it to constitution checks, what is this going to be for? Like a variant rule wherein your DM is calling for like an athletics constitution check to like maybe hold your breath or something. But like there's already rules that are covering that. Yeah, this is just one of those features that like it might seem kind of decent at first read, but realistically like this just doesn't really do much of anything for you. In addition, when you make a running long jump, the distance you can cover increases by a number of feet equal to your strength modifier. So if you run up to that 10 feet before you take the jump, you can cover additional distance with this as well. I don't see too many people really doing this. Like in some situations, this is pretty nice, right? You can clear a gap. That's cool. What I think I would have rather seen out of Remarkable Athlete is that you at least get a +10 additional movement speed on your turn, right? This would help with frontline positioning. If you wanted to go that route, it would help you to get away and further into the back line. If you're going with a dex build with this, the half proficiency bonus to any strength or constitution checks, this is nothing. It's just, it's nothing. Like, oh god. Just, yeah, the real strength in it is just adding it to initiative checks. I wish they would have just spelled that out. I think it would have gotten a little bit better reception if that was the case, but like, it's just not super clear. And that, yeah. But moving on from there, here at 10th level, the additional fighting style that you can get, a lot of the fighting style options are very, very good. But not all of them are directly synergetic. If you didn't get defense earlier, I would say that this is basically the one that you pick up. I know I've heard people, I should probably clarify this too. Whenever I was talking in the fighter guide, I had mentioned that I actually felt like great weapon fighting is better than dueling to take. This is in the instance that you are going with heavy weapons like this, right? The 2d6 damage die kind of ones. The dueling is an improvement where you're basically upping the average roll by about the same size as like something that's 2 sizes bigger. So like, let's say that you're wielding a d6 weapon and you're getting the +2 bonus. It's almost like you're rolling like a d10 with that, right? The average damage die is a little bit bigger with it. So it's just something to mention right there. You do get to wield a shield with that one. So like, there are more perks to it. I was probably underselling that one, and I may have been blowing up great weapon fighting in a way. I also really value this one a bit higher because of the great weapon master feat. So, you know, there's that little disclaimer in there. Protection, I guess this is one that you can pick up and it's okay. Getting protection and dueling, I guess, feels like a nice little synergy there. But I feel like most people, if you took an offensive fighting style, you're most likely taking defense here, right? I really doubt that many dex fighters didn't pick archery at first level and waited all the way till 10th level to pick this one up. So at the most, like, this is really dependent on the fighting style you chose at 2nd level. So, you know, I feel like this one's a blue. Some of these just don't really act synergetically with each other. So, it is another fighting style. So that's good, but just, yeah, be informed on your choice. Superior critical, we get an improvement on the 3rd level premier feature. At 15th level, your weapon attacks score a critical hit on a roll of 18 to 20. 15% chance right here. This is pretty damn sick. I do think that this is the kind of thing that I would have preferred to have seen at 10th level rather than an additional fighting style. It just feels like it needed a bit more than you get something that may be a little bit redundant for you. This is nice. Again, saying it's nice, but like part of me thinks that this could have been a 3rd level feature in here as well. And like this may have been a 7th, and then this could have been a 10th, and we could have figured something else out in here. Superior critical is purple. This is very, very impactful. By this point, multi-classing over into something else. I don't know, going pure fighter with this, you will be getting extra attack 4 here in a little bit, so maybe you do stick this one out. I can't help but feel like, man, if only samurai was its own like different class, because like you being able to get extra attacks on your turn, as well as like the way that this would have worked out with fighter. Oh man, that's so sick. But moving on to their 18th level survivor. At 18th level, you attain the pinnacle of resilience in battle. At the start of each of your turns, you regain hit points equal to 5 plus your constitution modifier if you have no more than half your hit points left. You don't gain this benefit if you have 0 hit points. So this is a passive that's just on for you, but it only kicks on if you've already taken damage in battle. This is nice. It is nice to have this defensive cushion right here. I think that they may have been a little bit worried about, like, you know, with it getting all these critical improvements, it is constantly going to keep getting more and more extra attacks. So maybe they felt like it wasn't really super great to just give them something that was more offense here, loaded way, way later on. This is a nice feature. It just doesn't feel like that big, shiny, scary capstone that we see and that we get so excited for whenever we're looking at different subclasses. So overall, the champion, I actually feel is going to be better than the arcane archer. I actually have a little bit of a soft spot for this one because it is that pretty vanilla. I can apply whatever I want to this subclass and make it out what I want it to be. But I don't think that champion is really deserving of being up in A. I think I even knocked it down a couple pegs the last time I evaluated this one. Champion, I think, is very, very defining of a middle of the road kind of B fighter, which is, I guess, what it should be. despite the fact that I do think that it should get a little bit of a facelift now that we've made it this far. It does deserve some more love in its third level. As soon as you lift that one up, I think that Champion could very easily be looking at an A, maybe even an S, depending on what kind of mechanic you put in there. As far as multi-class dipping goes, if you go 3 levels into this one, I think that Champion is up here in S. I mean, looking at the loadout that you would get with multi-classing with Action Surge, critting on a 19 or 20, the second wind in there, the fighting style, that 3-level package is just so good for multi-classing. But in terms of taking this as a full-on, just this class, single-class loadout, I think that Champion, unfortunately, has got to sit here at a B. So yeah, let me know what you all think down in the comment sections below. Do you agree, disagree with my rating, whatever? Let's talk about it. I want to throw a huge shout out to my Patreon sponsors. Thank you all so much for helping me keep the lights on around here and coffee in my blood. You all are absolute heroes. And hey, if you're interested in becoming a homebrew designer, third-party designer, and you're looking for a community that's going to be a bit more positive and constructive on giving you some feedback, if you go over and pledge $3 a month over on my Patreon, it gets you access to my private Discord where we have all kinds of professional designers and amateur homebrewers that are trying to come up in the scene. And once a month, I actually take on a monthly consultation stream from my Patreon sponsors. So if you'd like to kind of up your game and potentially enter into the third-party homebrew design scene, come and join up over there. I'd be happy to have you. That's going to be it for this one, guys. I hope you all are staying safe, staying healthy, and I can't wait to see you in the next one.